How then? How's everyone doing? Casper, first in the comments. Well done, man. It's becoming a bit of a competition. Love it. Maggie, second. Not quite first, but, you know, forgive you. Jack Edwards, thanks for subscribing. I've just seen that come through. That's a little later than I'd hoped, but I'll still accept the fact that you've finally got round to doing it, so I appreciate that. Michael, mate, how you doing? Good to see you. Hi, Mum. Nice to see you as well in the comments. It's always good to see you supporting your favourite son. Thank you. Hi, Laura. Michael, yeah, you here, mate? All good, thanks. Sorry, you were just replying to me. My bad. I'm glad you're doing well, mate. Well, Jack, mate, it's just not quite good enough. If you thought you'd already done it, especially after you've been on my show as well, mate, you'd have thought that you'd be on it, subscribing, but I don't know. I'm starting to wonder whether they're actually really friends. I'm only kidding, mate. Thank you very much for subscribing. I'm really pleased with how it's going, man. Or everyone, not just you, Jack. Thanks. You're not competing. We all know you are competing at Casper because everyone is competing for that first comment. I know you are. Got a bit of a buzz on my guitar, which is really annoying, and I didn't notice it until just before going live. So it's better on that pickup. I think it's more than a little. Casper, we all know it is. So technically, am I the winner? Because I'm always first to log on, which must means I get all the barbons. So I'm looking forward to it tonight. I'm really looking forward to hearing Gav's versions of standalone songs in their acoustic form. It's going to be quite interesting. It's going to be a good one, I think. I've been singing all day today, so I think I'm starting to lose my voice. This is the calm before the storm. So get up, get out before it comes. The heavens will start to open up. Even atheists will kneel and pray to God. If only we knew what life was like on the other side. It's because of the weight of the world trying to bring us down. If only this landscape that's inside could be yours or mine. It's because of the love that we've lost, waiting to be found. And he who hasn't sinned can cast the first stone. When no one speaks, they don't say a word. The stars from up above begin to fall. We never thought this day would come, but we've been warned. If only we knew what life was like on the other side. It's because of the weight of the world trying to bring us down. If only this landscape that's inside could be yours or mine. It's because of the love that we've lost, waiting to be found, waiting to be found. Save us now. believe that's inside could be yours and mine. It's because of the love that we've lost, waiting to be found, waiting to be found. If only we knew what life was like on the other side. It's because of the weight of the world trying to bring us down. Wow, the crowd goes wild. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers. I'm not going to lie, Steve. The comment saying that you loved my voice put me off and made me wobble. It's because I got flattered and then too big for my boots and tried to ad lib and it all went wrong. So it is what it is, you know. It's not like we're live or anything. Michael, how you doing, man? Good to see you. You need to reply to my email. I sent you an email back after you dropped me an email. Please reply so I can send you a t-shirt. And thank you very much for sending and supporting the channel. I appreciate it. Amy, how you doing? Good to see you. Not causing trouble tonight. What's everyone been up to today? Whoa, as if we're already 8 minutes into this. This is flying already. Well, so I'm not entirely sure how I should take that, Steve. You're either saying you don't like my voice. I'm just not sure. I don't know. I mean, I appreciate your daughter for the very kind compliment, but I'm joking. I'm kidding. Right, okay, I'm going to jump right into it and invite you to tonight's guest. Gav plays for a band called Stand Alone, and yeah, let's find out a bit about him and stuff. I've played a show with him. We were trying to discuss it. We were trying to talk about it earlier on, and there's a handful of shows that we might have played together along the way, but we were trying to work it out. So yeah, let's get him on. Everyone, let's have a massive round of applause for Gav. Hey.
Yo, you all right?
How you doing, man? Yeah, good
Good,
to
are
you. I'm keeping well.
Yeah.
How are you finding lockdown? Are you staying sane? Are you keeping well in general? Are you doing all right?
Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it? But getting used to it. Been doing plenty of music stuff, so I've had time for that.
Well, that's it. I think you know, the general consensus at the moment is everyone's trying to find as much positive out of it as possible, and they're actually been probably more productive than ever, which is really cool. It's cool to hear, really, all things considered.
Yeah, it's good. I feel like this has been my laziest week so far, but in general, not been too
Are you
bad.
working as well? Are you
I work in schools teaching music, so I'm not there at the moment, but I'm still doing some private teaching, like online on Mondays. But that's like 3 hours, so I've gone from doing full-time hours to 3 hours a week. So it's
bloody hell?
proper. It's like I've had a full 6 week summer break.
It must be
already.
quite hard to adjust to that, like, because like for me personally, my lifestyle hasn't massively changed because I work from home anyways. The only
Right.
thing I've had to adapt for is moving what I usually do on a face-to-face basis on to an online presence.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, it's not hugely different, and it's always quite interesting to, if you've gone from doing, however many hours a month working full time and doing all your hobbies and, pursuing music and writing and recording and doing all of these things to
Yeah, it's proper. It's really weird. It's just
but
even. Obviously, you still do have stuff to get up for, but
yeah, of
like
course.
usually getting up at 6, and now it's just basically have to try force yourself to get up at a reasonable time and just
But
do some music.
I do love the fact that like people, are finding the things that always kind of took a bit of a back seat, and making them more of a priority. Whether even if it's just finding time to learn something new, or doing something that you've put off for ages, or just stuff around the house or whatever it might be. I think there is a huge positive to come out of this, and if you're writing and demoing stuff, which is really good, then obviously that's the positive that's come out of this, which is really cool.
Yeah, that is the good thing, and then like started doing some online collabs with some other musicians and stuff. So I don't know. I don't think it'll ever change the way I teach guitar and piano lessons because
Yeah,
there's the odd bit of like you can't always hear them as well as you'd like, but
yeah,
no, it's been cool. And the only downside is like sending all the demos to the band members and then you can't do anything with them for
until
however
they've
long
done
we're
their
on.
bit.
Because we're
Yeah,
very much like, especially the lineup we've got now, very much I'll send the demos and then they want to get in a rehearsal room and thrash it out and
yeah, of course.
everything changes. So whereas I'm very much like, can't we just do it as it already is? But that's not
Can we
really.
just put it out in the world? I think I'm on your side on that. I think there's a balance between wanting to thrash it out at rehearsals and stuff, but right now that's not an option. So then really your thing should become priority. If you're saying that this is the song or whatever, and vice versa, they might send you a song and go, this is what we've got as an idea, and you just like
Yeah.
start to put it out, because I don't think you can ever have too much content. Like you just want to be putting stuff out all the time.
Oh yeah. I mean, the good thing is
um,
we just since we've got a new bass player, we've done some live sort of in the studio videos to like whenever you enter stuff, they always want live videos. We've never had
yeah,
any decent live videos, so we were doing that at the start of the year. And Thomas Drummer's got some good footage of a gig we did at the start of the year, so we've got sort of enough content to keep us going on social media for now. But
that's
I
good.
think it's getting that balance between not taking too long and then just releasing any old crap, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, you probably, yeah, but I think a lot of the time you can sit on stuff when it's at a more advanced stage than you probably even let yourself let it on. Like at the same time, like you know, where musicians especially are hoarders of their own stuff. Like they'll hold on to it until it's like perfect, and
Yeah, it never
I
is.
just I would definitely encourage to get more material out and stuff, especially if you sat on it during this time, and especially now you've got yourself a setup and you're into your interface and stuff. And we had a bit of
Yeah, well, I
a
was going
sound
to
check in
say
an afternoon
actually,
of trying to sort out.
when you were saying about learning something new, I have learned something new today. So
Well, there you go. So
I'll
now you
try
got
doing my
yourself set up,
I'll do my
and then
gig
you're
like
able
that
to see.
tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll do more live lounges and live sessions and streaming and stuff. You know, it's endless. You can
Yeah,
put content out.
never
No,
need to leave
like
the house again.
never. You can stay at home forever. Um. So, um, what are your plans for tonight? What are you? Because listening to your other stuff, listening to the standalone stuff, especially the newer stuff, it's quite high energy, high paced. I'm really interested to see what you're going to do when it comes to stripping it back to an acoustic song. Is this how you start a song anyways, as a foundation of an idea? Do you start on the acoustic guitar, or do you
Weirdly, no. Um, I know a lot of people do, and they always say if it's a good song, it'll work on acoustic. But I always find myself just writing it on electric and then then doing my best to make it acoustic. So sort of the opposite way around to everyone else. But
so do you sit in front of a laptop with your interface and track the guitar and then track some demo drums and all that kind of stuff and start to build the song up and then lay some vocals down, and then later on you've got like at least a foundation of a demo? Or do you literally sit in your room or somewhere in your house or even a studio or whatever, with your electric guitar and like thrash it out as if you're playing with the band? Or do you write it with the band?
well, I think I don't know if we've ever written a song in a rehearsal studio, but um, now I just usually just I write all the parts I'm going to do and sing a few lines and send it to them and try get Tom as drummer try get some ideas of what he's going to do. So I can't play drums, so I'm not going to go all Dave Grohl on him and try write his drum parts for him. So like then he'll send some back and then I sort of mash it together and then we'll try rehearse it in the studio and go from there.
Fair enough. I think that's I think that's like pretty standard kind of way of doing it. But I do like the fact that you rehash it into an acoustic version later on, because I definitely pick up the acoustic guitar more often than an electric, and then turn it into an electric song.
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose like it's probably not doing me any favors when I have to do acoustic sessions, but I quite like the challenge of sort of reimagining it. So it doesn't really have to be the same, obviously. And as if the melody's good, I think it'll always work acoustic.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Are you going to be playing? Sorry. Go away, Alexa. Are you going to be playing your new single tonight?
Yeah.
The latest one.
Yeah.
That's your first song.
Yeah.
Because I was watching that's such high energy like video as well and everything. I kind of half imagined you just been like, okay, here we go, and then just like pulling out your electric guitar and then just rocking out as if it's the video sort of thing and just going absolutely mental. Let's jump into that, mate. I think it's a good segue into your first tune if you're ready.
Cool. Right, nice one.
Take it away, mate. Yeah.
Cheers.
Nice work, man. That was sick. So that's that the issue. I think there's a slight issue during the middle of it. It was kind of breaking up. Did you mention about the internet to your wife?
I did, yeah. There
Because
should be nobody on it.
right, okay. Well, if anyone gets a chance, they should go check out Watch You Burn on YouTube. You've just released that video, right?
Yeah, we have, yeah. We've got it's all you can buy it on iTunes and Amazon if you want as well.
Nice one.
And yeah, there is a live version of it as well in the studio, I think, on YouTube.
Sweet, and that's the full band as well.
Yeah, it's all new lineup, new bassist.
Sweet. What studio did you record that at?
It's in Huddersfield. It's right. I can't remember the name of it. We've just been rehearsing there. It's really nice, proper chilled out place. Really well done out.
And that's not the same place that you recorded the
Can't
actual
for the
album.
life of it. Tom, if you're watching, put the name of the studio in the comments.
So is that
No, we recorded that in Leeds with Luke.
Sorry, man. I think there's a slight delay, you see. So every time I ask a question, I start interrupting you. So apologies for that.
No, it's all right. It's probably our internet. It's not always the best around here.
That's all good. We'll just make the best of it. Don't worry. So you were saying that was recorded in Leeds with a guy called Luke.
It says it's working.
Yeah, you're really pixelated at the moment. I don't know if it's the
called
same.
Luke Hatfield.
Sorry, I did it again.
No, it's all right.
As in, like, yeah, I interrupt.
It was working fine.
That's all good. So if you just you're saying the guy called Luke, he produced that. Did he produce all your other stuff as well, or is it just the latest stuff?
No, just the latest stuff. Before we used to, as old bass player, used to produce it, because he was like into production side of stuff. So
yeah.
It was a saving money exercise as well, I guess.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, I'm really happy with how that's turned out. He's done a really good job of it, and he's brought us to life.
Yeah, I talked just before we went live. I was telling you, because obviously I listened to it, and I was telling you like the kind of vibe that it had. It had like a early Funeral for a Friend sort of vibe, especially when it comes to the riffs. I really like the constant riffage. Do you know what I mean? It's just got a lot of energy in it, and it kind of reminded me of like The Art of American Football by Funeral, and it's really cool. And I also was saying how much I really like the production he's done on your vocal as well.
Yeah, it's cool.
So you were saying
where I listen
go ahead,
to
mate.
it, and I don't mind hearing my own voice, whereas I'm not.
It's always strange, isn't it? Because like you take influence from like whatever genre of music it is you're listening to, and you want to sound like your favorite artists, but you also want to keep your own identity. And for a lot of years, I used to just basically sing like Tom DeLonge. I just wanted to be Tom DeLonge. I don't know what it was, but like Blink-182 were just like my idols at the time. And my dad always used to call me, and he'd just be like, "Matt, you're from Stanningley, Pudsey, Leeds. Stop sounding like you're from California." And I was like, "Well, you just don't understand, Dad."
He's quite a hard person to sound like, isn't he? Really?
Oh well, when I was a kid, because that's all I listened to. Anyway, I guess I'm just saying, like, there comes a point where you start to find your own identity and your own sort of your limits, and whether they're like, you know where your range is and that sort of stuff. And as you progress musically and you start putting out more music and whatnot, obviously your voice and stuff grows with the type of music you're playing and whatnot. And it's cool to know that you're now at a point where you you can like enjoy the music yourself, because I think at the end of the day, like that's what putting music is. That's one of the most important things, is if you can enjoy it and like it yourself. So
Well,
yeah,
yeah, it's pointless writing it otherwise, isn't it?
yeah,
Like, you should sort of, I don't know, you should be in your own favorite band
yeah,
almost,
of
in my
course,
opinion.
absolutely. No, that makes complete sense. It really does. Um, but I won't ever want that to discourage people as well from not just trying, because you're not going to be in like your favorite band from the word go. It takes time and effort and practice, and a lot of hours crafting the sound and whatnot. Um, because no one's that talented that when they first start doing something, it's like absolutely perfect and exactly the way they imagined it and envisioned it and whatnot. So
No, it just can't be, can it? Like, you get better as you go along, and you
absolutely.
get better at songwriting, better at being in the studio, and sort of
You
delivering a performance, especially with the singing.
you become
I think,
yeah. You become way more efficient, don't you, when you're in the studio after a while? You like learn what the things were that were wasting time, and then what the things that you need to do to get the the results you want. Um, and then also you learn, like what works and what doesn't. So again, that's like a huge trial and error thing. It takes a long time for that to happen. You don't just walk into a studio and write a hit record. I mean, there might be some cases to a certain degree, but I think generally
yeah,
you don't.
I think I don't either. They're just like unbelievable musicians, or I think sometimes writing a hit's a fluke, isn't it?
I don't.
Like,
Yeah, I do think so.
when
Yeah, I agree with that.
when you watch some stuff, like, they seem like they just didn't know what they were doing, and they just like magically came up with something on the spot. I think, especially at our level, we could never go book some recording time and not have rehearsed and gone over it
Yeah,
because you just don't have the money, do you, to sit there unless
and
you've got
work
your
stuff
own
out.
studio. But when you're paying somebody for their time, you need to be well rehearsed and go in
Yeah,
there and
definitely.
get it all get it all down.
100%. We used to do that when we went to is the Hare. I think it's called the Hare and Hounds. Uh,
Yeah,
a guy called Mike Bennett, who played in a band called Empire's Fade. He produced the last couple of City of Lights songs, but because because obviously it's a huge money pit going to the studio. It's obviously a necessary thing to do, but we used to go with like all the MIDI written, and all the like every single riff like would be 100% down. We'd even have like a demo where we could just solo the tracks and just be like, okay, this is how we played that riff, because a lot of the songs that we were taking to the studio weren't necessarily road tested. We hadn't tried and tested them at gigs. We were just trying to, you know, get them as finished as possible and take as much information as much to the studio with us. I don't know if that's the same for you guys, or if you road test all of your songs and sort of gauge what people think of them live before you start to put them on some kind of CD or MP3 or whatever.
yeah. I mean, we have done in the past, tested stuff out, just mainly so we can learn it half the time,
Yeah, yeah,
and then you can sometimes. It's weird though. Some songs you think could go down great, sometimes don't, and then vice versa. Like, one you think's a bit of a throwaway
yeah,
sort of becomes like a live staple in the set.
yeah, yeah,
But I think if you can, it's probably a good idea to play it live. I've always liked doing that before recording it.
yeah, yeah.
But then again, it's cool if you've got a song that nobody's heard that you record first, and then you've got some material
And
to
you
pull
just bring
out
it
if you
out.
want to
Yeah,
deliver.
definitely. So you mentioned you've been doing a bit more writing, or a bit more collaboration. Is that for standalone stuff, or is that for something else? So you said
No, well, I mean, the thing I'm on about is just the school I work at. Just a few of the other music teachers are just like doing this Stevie Wonder jam.
cool.
It's been really cool, like good laugh, and
Yeah,
one of the guys who's playing sax and horns on it. It's like just a genius musician, and he's like mixed
Yes.
it all and done a video. Like, I'll send you it. I think they're putting it live tonight.
Oh, that'd be
It's
ace.
really really good. It's just fun to be a part of that. But yeah, I've been sending stuff to Tom and Alex for standalone stuff, and are regularly in contact with Tom and send ideas back and forth here and there, and then. But it's like it is one of those where they're very much both of them are like, we need to get in the practice room.
Yeah, yeah.
Where I
Even
think
now.
well, we can't now, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Where I come up with probably too many ideas for one song, so it's good to have Tom there to say, look, this song can't be 8.5 minutes long.
Rein it in a little.
Yeah.
Very good. Nice one. So what were you planning on doing all standalone stuff, or are you going to do a cover, or what
I was
are
going
you
to do a cover as
intentions
well,
there?
yeah.
What were you planning on doing next?
I was going to do the cover next. I was going to do a Beatles cover.
Oh, nice. My
So
mate Gary does a huge array of Beatles stuff. It's insane. You should if you get a second, you should go check out some of his content online. He's
oh, sweet, yeah.
He's really good. He does. It's like he does a show called The Beatles Acoustically Speaking, and it's basically like the full catalogue of all the Beatles stuff, and he tells you like all the like history of the band and all sorts, and he knows it all. He's just a proper nerd when it comes to the Beatles. It's ace.
Oh, I'll be well up for that.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to his stuff, man. He's brilliant.
No, I've only done this cover once. I just messing about since I got this little cheapy loop pedal. I'm just trying to learn how to use it properly.
Yeah,
so I end up with a little bit overkill. But
Which song is it?
it's Eleanor Rigby.
Oh, what a tune! Nice. I'll look forward to this, man.
Let's see how it goes.
Have a good one, mate.
Up the rice in the church where a wedding has been. Lives in a dream, waits at the window, wearing a face that she keeps in a jar by the door. Who is it for? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Father Mackenzie, writing the words of a sermon no one will hear. No one comes near, look at him working, down in his socks in the night when there's nobody there. What does he care? All the lonely people, where do they all come from? All the lonely people, where do they all belong? Now look at all the lonely people. 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 Grandfather Mackenzie, wiping the dirt from his hands as he walks from the grave. No one was saved, and all the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Now look at all the lonely people. 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 Thank you.
Yes. Wow, that was incredible.
No, thank you.
Honestly, mate, I was not expecting so much on the loop to like work like that. I've never heard it like that before. That's incredible. It sounded amazing.
Oh, cheers. I got the well. I didn't get the idea of to do that version of it, but we played with a band about a year ago at the O2 in Newcastle called Diva, and they did like a rocked up version of it, and I was like, this is like such a good song. I've always liked the song, and I was like, I'm gonna try do an acoustic arrangement of it when I started doing these acoustic streams on a Saturday. So it's just
Well,
I'm always like, oh, I've got to click the loop at the right time. Like if you just a split second out.
no, but honestly, it worked amazingly, and like, I just love how because it. Have you got the? Was it dipping in and out as well? Are you able to like bring it in as and when you want it? Because it just sounds so full all the time. But
in the verses, I was knocking it off, so you double tap it to get rid of it because the verses just like sticks on that one chord. So
yeah,
like all the stuff we're doing don't fit over the other chord sequence. So.
Just sounds great, mate. And your vocals were on point as well. It sounded really good. Really suited your vocal. Yeah,
Cheers.
Really impressed. And I've just had a message from Jack Edwards saying, "I told you he was good."
Yeah, I saw a few comments coming up. It was distracting. Or
yeah, man, you're getting a lot of love on that,
on
man. A lot of love on that. Yeah, man. It was really, really impressive. Buzzing, really good. We've had a question in. If anyone else has any questions you'd like to ask Gav, then get them in the comments. So this question's from Immy's Music. It says, could you ask Gav, what advice would you give to an aspiring musician?
Don't do it. No.
Don't say that. This is supposed to be about encouraging positivity. Don't do it. No.
Yeah, no. The opposite. Keep going no matter how many times you get knocked down or knocked back. Do as many gigs as you can in the early stages. Like, just get used to... I don't want to make it sound bad, but like sometimes you'll do some gigs that are like you build them up in your head and you get there and it's just a bit crap, but you've just got to go with it. And one massive piece of advice is be in a band with people you like.
Yep.
Otherwise, there's no point because it's a hard grind anyway, especially if you're doing originals. Like I play in a covers sort of wedding band with the standalone drummer, so we're in both bands and that's a little bit different. It's a bit more chilled, and obviously doing it to earn a living. But when you're doing original material, make sure you love it and be in a band with people that are easy to work with and are your friends.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. And I also think what you said as well about, I liked the honesty of taking the rough with the smooth, because I think when you look at pop culture, everything looks amazing, doesn't it? You look at the pop artists and the big
Yeah,
bands and all this sort of stuff. It looks incredible, but there's a reason why they don't show you all the stuff behind the scenes. Is because it's hard work. But I think if you're
yeah,
willing to put the effort in and the time, it will pay off. It doesn't. It's not always about it being like all glam and all shiny and all amazing. If you can enjoy the journey across the board, then you're on a winning streak. I think it'll hold way more longevity.
yeah. I think like on our level, you just gotta not. Well, I was just about to say, don't compare yourself to the biggest artist. I mean, you can do, but just you've got even don't compare yourself to your peers in the scene
Yeah,
because it can it can be really hard not to get jealous of other people, even though you're happy for them. So they're usually your
exactly.
mates,
Yeah,
like, but you're just like, oh, why don't we get that support slot, or why are they doing whatever? And I don't know. It's that you've just got to do what's right for your band, and I mean, obviously, what you can afford as well. There's a lot of money that you'll chuck around or can chuck around being an originals band as well.
yeah, yeah. I do like that what you said there about the element of jealousy, and I think that again is kind of instilled in us more than ever now with social media. I think even on a human element, not even necessarily just to do with musicians, we have that that desire to want what others have. But I think you can only
Yeah,
do what you can do and follow your own journey. So if you're pursuing a career and it's not true to you, then you're already on the wrong path. I think you've just got to do it for yourself, and then the rest will follow suit.
yeah, definitely. I mean, you you should be doing it for yourself to start with. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you, so I think you lose sight of what I've definitely been guilty of it, and
hmm
sometimes even still can be. I just have to have a word with myself
of
because
course, yeah,
I don't. Well, sometimes you see people get opportunities that you think they don't deserve, and it's hard to see that when you've spent so much hardship. But so will they will have done the same thing. It just doesn't appear that way because you're not in their band experiencing
yeah,
all the things they're doing. Obviously,
yeah, exactly, yeah. I think we've covered that question. I think there's some really valuable stuff that you said there, mate. So hopefully that's answered Imi's question. There's another one that's come through saying, "Who would your dream collaboration be, alive or dead?"
God. uh, Jamie Lenman from Ruben is still alive.
Yes, mate, he is, and I met him. Oh,
Yeah,
mate,
so
honestly, he's such a dude. Do you know what's really strange? You said that, man, because yesterday there was it yesterday's, or it might be the day before. The question was, what would your favorite album be that you could listen to on repeat if you could only listen to it for every day? And I said Ruben, Race Car is Race Car Backwards,
yeah.
because I just
I
think
mean,
it's absolutely amazing.
I'd just yeah, I'd have any three of their albums to be honest.
He's insane,
And
isn't
his solo stuff's amazing as well.
he? It's crazy, isn't it?
He's so creative. Like everything he does, he's always really high quality at any style he does.
If I'm being honest with his newer stuff, it I love all types of music. I used to be in a hardcore band. I've played like acoustic, folky, poppy stuff before, and I come from all walks of life when it comes to music. But what he's doing with that Jamie solo project is it's just so out there. It's just so crazy. Like he'll go from, especially his first one that he brought out. He went from like literally the most chilled countryside
Yeah,
song,
that was
just and then it goes into
bizarre
like
that
the
album.
scariest, like I don't
Yeah,
know. It's
well,
crazy, man.
that was the album that I half got my wife into him on because I always mentioned Ruben and she was like, oh, yeah, they're all right, and then
Oh, I loved him,
she
man.
really loved the second side of that Muscle Memory, and then played her the first side, and we went to see him live. So he's like, 1 minute he's playing like a jig, and the next minute he's like playing like the most brutal, yeah.
Yes, I love it.
But he's
But
really good at doing both.
because I remember seeing Ruben at Cockpit 2 in Leeds when they'd just brought out the first EP pilot, and it was
Bloody hell.
unbelievable, absolutely unreal. In fact, I'd go as far as to say they were like that genre of music. I was just like, I just want to be like him. I just want to do that sort of music. That's just that energetic, heavy but melodic music. And
Yeah,
it just
the
blew me away.
melodies he writes are just so brilliant. They're
But
often
when-
very simple melodies and choruses, and they're just great band. They hold the still I've not seen a better support band. Do you remember Fight Star?
Yeah, I saw them supporting Fight Star as well.
That's the reason I heard of Ruben. Like some of my friends from school were like, "Oh, we're going to see Fight Star," and I was like, "What is that? That guy from Busted's other bat?" So I actually went to that gig just as a joke, and then I really like both those bands now. So
yeah, man. Charlie Simpson, man, I absolutely love it. I'm gonna have to drop it. I've supported Fight Star at Cockpit Main Room, like when they first came out, with the first album.
Have you?
Yeah, man. But it was like everyone was vibing off the whole Busted scene at the time. It was insane how many fangirls were there just because Charlie Simpson was in the band. It was really funny because like he was trying to become a credible artist.
Well, he did, didn't he? And then he's gone back to Busted.
I like the fact that he went back because put it this way. Yes, put it this way. If your boss said to you, "I'm going to give you a wage rise," and you're going to pretty much be doing exactly the same thing, it's just going to be a slightly different sound, but it's going to get out to the masses. You know, whatever it might be, you wouldn't turn it down. I think you'd be daft not to turn it down. Sorry, my wife's just distracted me because she's put Andy's pretty fit in the comments about Charlie.
Charlie Simpson.
Yeah. Or, unless she's talking about you, I don't know.
I doubt it.
But did you know that Jamie from Ruben hates his history of the band? Hates Ruben.
Yeah, well, he still plays a few Ruben songs, doesn't he? But I think he doesn't like talking about it, does he? Certainly.
No, well,
they had a bit really. I think they're the classic example of a band that they didn't get the opportunities that they probably did deserve, and they got burnt out and couldn't afford to do it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Because they were so talented, and they were like the next big thing and all this sort of stuff. But I think major labels took hold of them and tore them apart.
Yeah, they definitely did. I remember seeing them at Download Festival at like 11 a.m. on Sunday morning. They opened the main stage in I think it was 2007 or something. And even then, from song one, there weren't that many people there, and they only had half an hour. And halfway through, the field was just like people flocking down, running to watch them. So they definitely made an impression.
Yeah, 100%. I think so. I think they shaped a lot of that genre of music paved the way for that kind of stuff. Because he was really strange because I think I was in Brighton, and I was out on a run and he was just there, and I was with my brother Dave, and he was just walking down the road, and I was like, I'm pretty certain that's the dude from Ruben. I'm gonna have to go say something. So I'm in my running gear, and I just jog up to him. And I was like, "Are you Jamie from Ruben?" And he went, "Yeah, man." And I went, "Oh."
Yeah.
I went, "I absolutely."
Nice.
Yeah, he was super down to earth and nice, and I was just like, "I loved your band, man. I loved Ruben." And he just went, "I'm really sorry."
Yeah.
I was like, "You don't have to apologise."
He's really funny as well. In between songs, it's almost like he's doing a stand-up comedy routine in between songs as well. It's just genuinely really funny. But we went to see him at the Key Club, Jamie Lemon. And after the gig, we hung around for half an hour in the venue thinking, he might come out. We're like, oh, never mind. So then we walked up and he was outside signing stuff. So I had a chat with him then, and he was surprisingly tall. He doesn't look as tall as he is. But
did he still have his killer mustache?
Yeah. Yeah, he's just got a little tuft of hair at the front, and he's all bald with that little handlebar mustache. Yeah. He looks unrecognisable from what he looked like in Ruben.
I know. I was going to say, man, if you get a chance, I'm sure there's some gold on YouTube of their there's documentaries and stuff of them when they were touring relentlessly, and I think if you want to lead by example for any band, hardworking band, they're one to watch. the way that he was talking about it, he was like saying like he just looked so different to now, and they're investing all the time and all the money, and it's such a real documentary because they're all working normal 9 to 5 jobs, and then they're touring, like they're doing like 2,000-3,000 capacity venues on tour supports with like Fight Star and all these other, big bands and stuff like that, and then they just go back to like working a carpet shop or something like that, like the next day and all that sort of stuff. But I love the fact that they didn't pull the wool over anyone's eyes. They were just like, this is us, this is what we do.
When you were talking about the perception of it looks amazing earlier,
yeah,
it sort of ties in with this. Like, even bands like ourselves, you can make it look like you're doing way better than you are.
Oh, absolutely.
Bit of tricky camera work at the gig when there's 10 people there, make it look like there's 100. And
yeah,
I just, not that if there is 10 people there, great. If that's 10 new people, I'm more than happy with that. But
even if it's 10 old people, 10 people that come.
Yeah,
10 people that come see you time and time again. I think that's.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, so me and Tom have been talking recently. We're like, we should just like start posting, instead of like, cheers, great gig. If it's been a shit gig, we're like, maybe we should just write tonight's gig was a bit shit, really, rather than just.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much longevity that'll hold. Are you still there, mate? You're frozen. Hello? Hey, are you still there?
Hello? Yeah, don't know what happened
there. You froze. It's all good. I think let's jump into your final song of the evening, if you're about ready anyways.
Yeah.
Sick. And if anyone's got any final comments or anything that they want to say or ask Gav, then please get it in the comments now. We'll be sort of doing this song and wrapping things up. I've really enjoyed it tonight, mate. Thank you very much for coming to speak to me and playing your songs. And yeah, it's just been really nice.
No, cheers for having me on, mate.
Right, my man. Right. Take it away anyways.
Yep. Right, this is another standalone tune. This is Save You. Conversation turns to dust the moment you flip my switch. I can't continue where my mind turns on. I gotta stop the edge. Cause you twist and turn and walk away. So I can see what I wanted to see about it. Cause you twist and turn so every day I can't seem to find my way out of here. All the times I tried to say how I feel, but you would not listen. Banging my head against the wall, give you the earth, but it's never enough. You twist and turn and walk away, so I can say what I wanted to see about it. Cause you push your way into my mind. It's the same old shit every single day of my life. Cause you pushed me away once so I fell. Now you're gone with empty. And I feel so empty. Cause you lie in your chin, I can't complete. Now I don't need you. I guess that you'll leave me, but I'm not around to save you. 'Cause you push me away, once do I feel? Now you are without me, and I feel so empty. 'Cause you lie and you cheat, and I can't compete. But now I don't need you. I guess that you need me, but I'm not around to save you. 'Cause you twist and turn and walk away, so I can find a way to get you to here. 'Cause you push your way into my mind. It's the same old shit every single day of my life.
Yeah. Woo! Nice work, man.
Cheers, man.
Absolutely loved the time signature at the end, or it was like the that sort of like.
Yeah. It's usually like proper heavy, you know, like.
Yeah, I love it. I could tell, but it sounds cool, man. I really like that. Really good. So, can people find that song online as well?
Yeah, all our stuff. We've got 2 EPs. One's called Nothing Is Forgotten. The other one's called Falling Faster. They're all out iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, all the usual places. Yeah,
Great.
I think you just usually have to put standalone UK in. I think there's an Australian standalone.
Okay. Awesome. Well done, man. I've really enjoyed it tonight.
Me too.
Have you got any sort of final words or anything you'd like to say or talk about or plug or anything? Or
just, well, it's the standalone new single, Watch You Burn. We're trying anything we make in however many months we're on lockdown, we're going to donate to the NHS.
Oh, mate, that's
from
well
the
good.
single. So we're obviously we want to get the song out there for us, but if we can just like help in any way possible. It's my mum's an NHS worker and like a few other people we know, so we're just, I think we'd want to do it anyway, but it's just kind of close to my heart.
Absolutely, yeah, mate, that's well good. Yeah, definitely. So if you get a chance, head over to the socials that are on the screen now and potentially go, download the track or at least share it with a friend or something like that. Anything you do to support the guys, that'd be massively appreciated. Once again, man, thank you very much for coming on tonight. I do appreciate it, and I love the acoustic versions of your standalone tracks, and I also thoroughly enjoyed Eleanor Rigby. That was absolute tune, mate. And I also loved talking about Ruben, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's always good when you can do that.
Yeah, man. All right, mate. So we'll catch up with you real soon. All right, you just take care of yourself.
Yeah, you too, mate.
I'll speak to you soon, dude.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
Right, see you in a bit. Bye. Bye.
Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in again. I'm so grateful for the continued support. Huge thank you to Gav for tonight's show. Thoroughly enjoyed that. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm looking to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're creeping up ever so slightly every single day, which is awesome. And also, if you're new here, I do a daily stream. Like every single day, I do this live stream from 7 o'clock with a new act and a new artist. And we're building a really cool little community. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for supporting me on my studio and the channel. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.